Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. So here we have another episode of my Christmas in July series. So none of these are going to be numbered, I'm just going to bring out as many as I can throughout the month. So today we're going to make a super easy project and all you're going to be needing is a little car, any of your choice. I've gone for a London taxi and it just came in this little box here. It was very inexpensive, it's from Amazon and I will link this one down below, but there are plenty of other little cars that you can choose from. You may even have some in your home already that you can just reuse. So again, I'm going to be reusing some jars. I always keep jars around for like food storage even, and even for crafting with. So I love these ones. This one is a lovely decorative one. This is the Heinz mayonnaise one, and you can get the smaller one as well. So I'm going to make sure I get a smaller one in, and then we're going to be using those two for a separate project probably later on in the year. So today we're going to be using a Nutella jar. So this is one of the smaller ones. So you can actually get the larger ones of this as well. So I have played with those before. And then we're going to be using some bottle brush trees here. So I have quite a few here actually. I've got this large tree as well. This is going to be too big for us to use today, but you can buy these in all different shapes and sizes. And again, wire lights. And I'm thinking I might just add some bells as well. So I've just delved into my Christmas box and dragged a whole load of stuff out. Okay, so the idea for today's jar is going to be a light up jar, and I'm going to have a car in it, and I'm going to have a little tree on the top. So I'm going to be needing some twine for that. So let's go dig some of that out. Okay, oops, we don't need that. Okay, I'm thinking maybe this is just general things that I have in my stash, so I don't even know where this is from. I think this might be from Wilkinson's. They did have a year where they were selling nice twine. Okay, so I'm going to tie on the twine just onto the tree. So I'm just going to cut myself off a length. So this craft is absolutely fantastic if you're crafting with kids as well. And I know in some of my previous projects I've used a red car before. I've made a red car music box. I'll put a photo of that up here, and I'll make sure that is linked down below. So I want to make sure that there's a tail here, and then we're just going to tie this around. Going to go for a few different areas to make sure that the tree stays on straight and doesn't come off. So let's make sure the driver's seat is okay, because in the UK we sit on this side. Then I'm just going to tie this at the bottom, and then I'm going to have to sort out the tree afterwards because I think I'm going to be squashing it a bit. Just going to tie a knot at the bottom. There we go. And there is our tree. Okay, so you are also going to be needing a hot glue gun and also some fake snow, which I'll be getting that out in a moment to show you after we've glued everything together. Okay, so while my hot glue is heating up, I just need to make sure I have a stick because it's about to run out. I did have one. There we go. Right. I'm going to make a little base. Let's just quickly show you. I'm going to pop this in here. One thing I did forget to mention is you need to make sure that your car is going to fit inside your jar properly. So as you can see, that is pretty low down, so I wouldn't mind that to be a little bit higher because we're going to be adding some fake snow in the bottom. So let's pop back to the other view. Okay, and we're going to need to make a little platform for this to go on. So measure your car and decide what sizes you're going to go for, whether it's going to be a larger one or a smaller one. This measures 2 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. So let's get that scored. So we're going to do it at 3/4 of an inch, 1, 2, 3, and then a half, so the 1, 2, and then we're going to do another 3/4 again. That's going to take us to 2, and then another half, and then we'll have this little section here for us to use as a tab. So let's fold all those in. And then I'm just going to glue that. It's easier just to glue this tab thing here onto the outside. There we go. So I have myself a tiny little platform, and I've measured this so that it's going to stick just on here, because this it has a funny thing here where it's raised up, so I want that glued just there underneath. And I've gone for black because that's the same color as my black cab, and all of this is going to be hidden under snow as well, so we're not going to see that. So let's see if the glue gun has heated up now. Not yet. Okay, I think it's coming out now, and I've just zoomed in a little bit closer because it would be nice for you to actually see what I'm doing and not from afar. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this on to this bottom section here. There we go. Wait for that to cool down, and it won't want to, you know, behave itself. It is a little bit off center slightly, so let's just pop this in here. Okay, so I'm just going to go for it now. I don't know whether this is going to kind of glue okay and slip backwards, so try and get this as central as possible, but this is my experiment and we're going to see if this works. So I'm going to quickly change the camera angle now so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So I've done my dry run. Time for the proper run now, so I'm going to carefully pop that in and get that as straight as possible, and then I'm going to press that down and I'm going to keep it there whilst it cools down. I think it's worked, so I'm going to just leave that alone now. You can see a bit of a reflection there, but it's nice and central now. And if you do have a larger jar, you can probably pop some trees around there as well if you have them in different sizes, but this is going to be a really simple one because I already do have a few ornaments very similar to this anyway, so they're all going to look really nice on my display at Christmas. Right, so moving on, we are now going to glue our lights. So these are just battery operated lights here, so let's go back to the other camera view again. Here we go, so we have some battery operated lights here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them around the inside rim here of the jar. So again, I'll be needing to use my hot glue gun again. This is one of my favourite ways to add lights to any sort of jar, and I've used this many times in magazine commissions as well, especially the Christmas magazine commissions. So I'm just going to start that off. Adding my glue in there, hope you can see. Okay, so just keep going around and around, just adding bits of glue where you think it needs it. Okay, so I have everything swirled around there now, so let's turn that on. It might be a bit bright. There we go. So I am going to have to dim the lights there so we can have a proper look at that, but that's going to look really nice on the shelf. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to glue this onto the underside here. So we have the little screws there so we can change the battery on that. So I'm popping it over this side so we still have space there to switch that on and off. And then we're going to pop that on there and screw that shut. So I need to sort out that wire there. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue here. Glue guns are definitely your friend. So just tidy that up just like so. Okay, and there we have it. So I'm going to have to clean out all of the these little strings here. This isn't a Halloween ornament, this is Christmas. Okay, so now we're ready to add snow into there. So let's turn these lights off so you can actually see what I'm doing. That's the nature of recording. I'm afraid it looks much better in person. Okay, so I have some fake snow here. I bought this, I think it was about a year ago now, and it's still going strong. So this is just like fake snow. It's not the stuff that you add water to, it's the dry stuff. So I think it's just shredded bits of plastic. But this is going to sit in my ornament for years and years. So I've got a bit of snow there on the bonnet, so I want to kind of move that out of the way. Okay, so let's switch camera views again so you can see what I've been doing. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like from the side. So again, you can just, you know, when you put this on the shelf, you can just play around with the snow. So let's turn that on. And close that lid. So it's so bright for you to actually see. So the photos that I'm going to take is going to look a lot nicer. So have a look at the photos as well. There'll be a really nice thumbnail for this video. Let's pop that snow away before I mock it everywhere. Okay, so let's make the top of the jar pretty now. If you want to, you can carry on adding some trees if you want to. If you have different, I need to get some more different sized trees for that. So let's turn this off again so you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so I've got my circle nesting dies here. And I'm going to see which ones are going to fit on top of this jar. So that's going to be too big, so we need to do one size down. There we go, that is going to cover that nicely. And I'm just going to delve into the papers that I used in my last Christmas in July. So I think I'm going to go for this one. This is, I think it's Cozy Christmas it's called. And I'm just going to run that through the machine. Okay, so that is on there now. Okay, so if you wanted to decorate the top, you can add some trees on top of there. And shall we add some jingle bells? See if we can get them through the ribbon. I've got some ribbon here. I'm not sure if the ribbon will go through there. We'll give that a go. It's always worth a try. Well, actually, no, I'm going to use twine for that. I'm just going to add the ribbon around, just around this jar here. Yes, okay, I have a plan. I'm going to glue as you can tell on some of my videos, I don't plan too far ahead because I kind of like to just experiment and see where it takes me. Some people like to meticulously plan all their videos out. I sometimes just do it halfway so I know what direction I'm taking, and then I will just experiment on camera. So I like you guys to kind of just watch and see how I do my decision making, because I know some of you may struggle with that, and it's kind of nice to see someone else deciding things so you can kind of learn from example. Okay, so I do have my join there at the front now. Well, I think it's kind of like a double-sided thing really. You're going to be able to see that from both sides, but this side I will be covering it with a bow. So I'm going to do 2 bunny rabbit loops. I'm going to cross them over, and with this one I'm going to go underneath and then through the loop at the bottom and pull that through, keeping my fingers on the other loop. So now I have my bow, so holding the center, I'm going to pull that through and just sort out the loops there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Just going to make sure that's nice and tight, and then I'm just going to just trim the tails. You can do fancy tails if you want. I tend to just cut it at a slant. That is quite big actually, but that's going to be quite nice. Let's get that glued. Oh no, we need the bells. We need the bells. Let's add some bells. Should we have 1 bell or 2 bells? I'm thinking 1 bell will be nice and jingly. Okay, so to add that one on, I'm going to go back to the twine. Twine's our friend here. I'm going to thread that through. If I had some smaller bells, that would be even better. I think I did order some. Let's have a look. Here we go. You can probably hear me rummaging through my drawers. Okay, I have some little bells here. I think we're going to go for the smaller ones. We will save. If you have any ideas of what I can use the bigger bells on, let me know. And if you have any requests for my Christmas in July series, what you'd like to see, do let me know down in the comments. I love to hear all of your ideas because I like to make content that you like to watch. So if you want me to make anything, let me know down below and I will do my best. Okay, so I'm going to string these on now. And if you have trouble threading it through, just trim your twine, your thread even, and then try again. That will go through easier hopefully. So to keep these in place, I'm going to tie these in a knot. There we go. So I have my little jingle bells. Now these are so tiny. And then I'm going to tie this around the bow. So I have the jingle bells at the front just like that. That's going to look really nice. We'll tie that in a double knot at the back. There we have our lovely jingle bells. Right, so let's trim these off, and then I think I might have to glue these down slightly so that they're kind of just hidden. I don't want them poking out. Okay, I think those are going to be nicely hidden. So let's get this popped onto the top here. I'm going to be covering up the join here. And there we have our lovely bow with jingle bells on them. Maybe I should have put 3 on there. We'll see. These are small enough for lovely poinsettia middles. Maybe I might try that. Okay, so there is today's project. Let's just switch camera views again so that you can see it from the side. There we go. That is today's project. So I really hope you like this one. This is super easy to make and a lot of fun to make as well. And that will look nice just on the shelf, even without the lights. So you can do this without the lights too. And if you make a whole different bunch of different ones, they're all going to be nice. And if you can hear that noise, my cat's just making a whole load of noise in the corner. Anyway, if you have a whole cluster of these on a shelf or on a feature table, they're all going to look really nice, especially if you have a whole bunch of different cars as well. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time.